In deadlines, Ethiopia takes military cooperation with Russia as key pillar of their strategic partnership. Ethiopia's quest for a guaranteed maritime access said permanent national imperative. Hello and welcome to ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I'm Sintayo Tamrat with the news. Stay tuned. Military and technical cooperation between Ethiopia and Russia is a key pillar of long-standing and strategic partnership between the two countries, Ethiopia's State Minister of Defense Martha Luigi said. The 14th meeting of the Ethiopia-Russian Intergovernmental Working Group on Military Technical Cooperation began Thursday in Moscow, according to the Ethiopian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Ethiopian delegation led by State Minister of Defense and co-chair of the Intergovernmental Working Group, Martha Luigi, is taking part in the meeting. In her opening remarks, the State Minister also noted that the working group serves as an appropriate platform to review military collaboration between the two countries and to enhance Ethiopia's defense capabilities through capacity building initiatives and opportunities for technology transfer. Chairman of the Russian working group, Anatoly Ponchuk, on his part expressed his country's readiness to further enhance the military and technical cooperation between the two countries. China's ambassador to Ethiopia, Chen Hai, said that the Ethiopia-China relationship serves as a model for other African countries. His remarks came after meeting with Ethiopian State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Hadara Abera. He further said if efforts are underway to increase the number of Chinese tourists visiting Ethiopia in order to strengthen the relationship in the areas of people-to-people ties, culture, and tourism. Ambassador Hadara noted that the value of the all-weather strategic partnership between Ethiopia and China and emphasized that the Chinese investors have created significant employment opportunities by engaging in various sectors. He also expressed Ethiopia's strong commitment to further enhance the bilateral relations through people-to-people ties, cultural exchange, and tourism. The two sides have also exchanged views on how to enhance cooperation within BRICS and other multilateral platforms. Ethiopia says its manufacturing sector is a key pillar in the country's 10-year development plan, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said. The remark was heard during the 9th BRICS Industry Ministries meeting in Brasilia. Addressing the summit, Ambassador Olusegun Tadesse emphasized Ethiopia's commitment to its manufacturing sector is a key pillar in the country's 10-year development plan for fostering economic growth and job creation. He elaborated on Ethiopia's significant industrial reforms and the progress made through the national flagship program Made in Ethiopia. Ambassador Olusegun also underscored the favorable business climate resulting from recent economic reforms, including the development of industrial parks and special economic zones. He reaffirmed Ethiopia's readiness to deepen collaboration with BRICS countries and encouraged them to invest in the Ethiopian manufacturing sector. The meeting concluded with a joint declaration to strengthen intra-BRICS cooperation in industrial development. Ethiopia's quest for a guaranteed maritime access is a permanent national imperative driven by the vision of security, economic viability, and regional integration, says Executive Director of the Ethiopian Institute of Foreign Affairs, Jafar Badru. The third Regional Consultative Forum on Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, organized by the Institute of Foreign Affairs and Ethiopian Defense Force War College, is underway in Addis Ababa. Briefing journalists, Jafar Bedro reiterated that the forum reflects the collective resolve to foster meaningful engagement, build mutual understanding, and advance a shared vision of regional peace, security, and prosperity.
By conducting these kinds of consultative meetings, forums for scholarly engagement among stakeholders, Ethiopia intends to articulate its narrative toward this access to the sea in northern and southern Red Sea regions. And Ethiopia is claiming and putting forward the argument that issues in the Red Sea need to include the opinions, the aspirations, the needs of Ethiopia. Any security and political arrangement in the Red Sea area that excludes the biggest hinterland, which is Ethiopia, is not going to be successful in achieving peace and prosperity in the Red Sea arena. So what we are doing here is to create a platform for actors within the region to come together and understand each other's aspirations, ideas, and to create a shared vision for the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden area between the eastern part of the Horn of Africa and the western, the Arab Gulf countries. They are creating an understanding by sharing scientific researches, evidence-based dialogues. We intend to create a more conducive environment for a mutual understanding of peoples and states in the region.
The executive director further urges for both the Gulf and Horn regions to establish a shared economic diplomacy to harness the potential in the region.
If we can establish some level of understanding between the Horn of Africa and the Gulf Arab states, and if we can focus their investment in economic areas or focus on economic diplomacy, there are a lot of potential for these countries to bring peace and prosperity in our region.
Addressing the event, head of training and education at the Ethiopian Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Yimer Mekonnen on his part said, Ethiopia's strategic quest for maritime access is grounded to the principle of mutual respect, transparency, and regional cooperation. He also said the cooperation between the Horn of Africa and the Gulf region is not merely diplomatic, it's a matter of regional stability. Ethiopia seeks not just assistance, but to be a reliable contributor to peace, security, and development across the region, Lieutenant General Yimer added. The International Labour Organization ILO has commended Ethiopia for its leadership in driving sustainable and inclusive employment policies across Africa. Muto Tsukamato, Chief of the ILO's Department of Employment, Development and Investment, praised Ethiopia for successfully hosting the 20th ILO Regional Conference for Labor-Based Practitioners under the theme Resilient Communities and Healthy Environment, the Employment Intensive Investment Program approach. Jerusalem Besaha has more from the Ethiopian news agency's dispatch.
In a joint statement, the ministers underscored the vital role of employment-intensive investment programs and reaffirmed their commitment to enhancing skills through technology and fostering strong partnerships for effective implementation. Speaking to Ethiopian news agency, Mito Tsukamato acknowledged the continent's immense but often underutilized potential. She noted Africa's largest youth population, the dominance of the informal sector, and limited access to education and training as major challenges, particularly for women and marginalized groups, including persons with disabilities.
Africa faces challenges like the issues of informality and also high youth population. Obviously, by bringing in the different vulnerable populations, not youth of course, but women, youth, and disabled persons, but also all the other vulnerable people. And being able to provide them a job which gives them dignity and also income that would also create these local multipliers in their communities is extremely important. And I think that very much fits in this framework of the 20th Regional Labor-Based Conference, where we're talking about resilient communities. How can we build resilient communities? In Africa, even though you face challenges, there's many opportunities to be able to find opportunities for decent work.
Despite these challenges, Sukamato expressed optimism that the conference would contribute meaningfully to expanding decent work opportunities across the continent. She applauded Ethiopia's outstanding organization of the conference, which she said provided a critical platform for policymakers to shape inclusive employment strategies. She also reaffirmed the ILO's ongoing support in fostering sustainable job creation throughout Africa.
Employment-intensive investment program and its approaches really does this at the country level. We really work with local communities and to demonstrate how these programs can bring inclusive wealth, but also assets that are very much needed in local communities. The EIP program has been around for 55 years. It was founded in the 1970s. So it's a program that has been well tested and well piloted. And it's a program where we are doing these kinds of South-South events. And we very much appreciate the Ethiopian government for hosting us at this 20th event. And it's extremely important because it brings all the 25 plus ministers who are here also to look at how best they can guide us in terms of making policy decisions that will help the African continent.
She further called for greater synergy between public and private investments and advocate for leveraging domestic resource, human capital, and financial assets to generate sustainable employment.
We are looking at employment-intensive investment programs. I mean, the solutions is looking at the existing public and private investments in different countries or in the region. A lot of these investments right now are being invested in capital-intensive approaches, oftentimes with foreign direct exchange issues. And actually, if you focus on a local resource-based approach like the one which is the employment-intensive investment approach, it really allows you to capitalize on local workers, on local resources, local materials, so that you're actually creating this local multiplier, not only in the community, but then those, the multipliers are being created in the economy. So then the growth becomes one that's not just jobless growth, but really an inclusive growth approach, which would be very beneficial, I think, to Africa.
The 20th ILO Regional Conference brought together over 25 African ministers.
And that winds up the news for the hour, and a reminder of top stories. Ethiopia takes military cooperation with Russia as key pillar of their strategic partnership. And Ethiopia's quest for a guaranteed maritime access said permanent national imperative. That's the news from EBC World. Thank you so much for watching us. Do stay tuned with the rest of EBC World programs.